SGL preceptors have an important role in shaping the professional identity of our students. No student is perfect, so helping them understand when their behavior is outside the professional ethic helps them hone these skills. Repetitive, unprofessional issues more often reflect a deeper problem, especially if they have already been addressed by a small group team or their preceptors. Student health issues take precedence over learning and academic issues, so a heightened awareness is needed when observing unprofessional behaviors. It is essential to recognize that often the first indication of a deeper problem is unprofessional behavior. Common student, physical, or mental health issues can manifest in small group learning as professionalism concerns. These include, but are not limited to, mood disorders, both new and reactivated, substance abuse, personality disorders, and students under stress, duress, or experiencing burnout. Repetitive unprofessional behaviors are often a sign of a deeper issue. Tardiness can be thought of as being late for a session or late with assignments. At the beginning of each semester, be certain to set clear expectations regarding attendance and deadlines. Clearly inform the group late time definitions. Since SGL students are assessed daily, missing one session is like missing a quiz. SGL preceptors are not responsible for granting excused absences. The Office of Student and Multicultural Affairs carries this responsibility for the purpose of confidentiality, but also for longitudinal awareness of behavioral trends over time. Facilitators will be notified by email if a student has received an excused absence. If there is concern of unexcused tardiness or absences, this should be reported to the Office of Student and Multicultural Affairs and the module phase director. That being said, facilitators may use their judgment regarding when to address a concern with a student. For example, a single minor late appearance versus multiple late appearances. Set expectations at the beginning of the semester, informing students of what is meant to be fully present and engage with the group. Then, be aware of changes in appearance and engagement. Note when students become withdrawn from group discussion, especially if they were previously engaged. Note if they fall asleep during SGL, if they look disheveled or develop hygiene concerns, if they smell of alcohol or marijuana, if they voice concerns of grief, sadness, or burnout, if they show signs of being overly anxious. When it comes to interpersonal communication, clearly state the interpersonal communication goals for the group at the outset of each semester and engage the team in discussion examples. Students will often use terms such as respectful, courteous, and collegial to describe how they like to receive communication in a small group. Professionalism and communication go hand in hand, so it's important to be aware when individuals don't rise to the standards we expect. That doesn't mean everyone agrees with one another all the time. Quite the contrary, it does, however, mean that we model and expect disagreements to be managed in a professional manner. Examples of behavior that can represent a failure of interpersonal communication include becoming angry, defensive, or accusatory, use of inappropriate comments that are disparaging of others, approaching the line of being insensitive, lacking empathy, or cultural sensitivity. Additionally, individuals can have poor conflict management skills, such as being overly dominant about SGL processes or being argumentative rather than collaborative. It's important to engage your precepting partner in a frank discussion about observed behaviors. What is their perception and their opinion? In most instances, addressing concerning behavior in a one-on-two meeting between the student and preceptors is recommended. State what behaviors both preceptors have objectively seen by referring to specific examples. Express concern and use an empathetic approach. Allow the student to provide their perspective. Is the issue due to something simple and temporary like losing sleep over a noisy neighbor, or is something more serious present? Before the meeting concludes, come up with a clear follow-up plan. SGL preceptors have an obligation to report concerns about students' mental and physical health, substance abuse, both known or suspected, burnout, suicidal ideation, and domestic violence to the Office of Student and Multicultural Affairs. Facilitators do not need the student's permission to report, and sometimes it may be advisable not to discuss with them beforehand. Repetitive unprofessional behaviors, even if not health-related, also need referral. SGL preceptors should not provide diagnoses, evaluate, or recommend treatment to their students. The one-on-two check-ins are formative and also are a way to assess if referral to the Office of Student and Multicultural Affairs is needed. The time frame to refer depends on the risk to the student. Sometimes you may need to ask a student to immediately accompany you to the Office of Student and Multicultural Affairs. And other times, a facilitator may email a concern or plan to meet one-on-one with our office to discuss concerns. Referral should not be seen as punitive. The Office of Student and Multicultural Affairs goals are to help students work through their challenges. If you think you may need to refer, you probably should.